Kamala Harris is not winning. And the people who thought that Kamala Harris was going to win in a landslide are totally wrong. Iowa called for Trump, so there goes that nonsense. I'm getting revved up here on a significant rant. So,
not all working class voters are members of unions, right? And so there's a huge portion that correct. And I think that gets overlooked. And while we can all say, but Donald Trump does absolutely nothing for them, that's true from a policy perspective. But they look around and somehow still they feel connected with his personality. They like the way he speaks. And he speaks to them and says, you are forgotten. You know what Joe Biden did? He forgave student loan debt for college educated people who have all sorts of job opportunities. You continue to be forgotten. And so while they haven't found any policy solutions for him, and I can go through everything that Joe Biden has done from beyond what he's done with unions. We can talk about the Inflation Reduction Act. We can talk about infrastructure plans. We can talk about all the training programs in many of those rural communities, whether it's Georgia and Pennsylvania, but many of them aren't underway yet, and it takes time, right?
Yes, from all indications, Libras are depressed. Some are even crying on TV. After calling Trump all types of names, they are coming to reality to realize that people love him. An increasingly depressed Joy Reid goes on rant against white women for not voting for Kamala in North Carolina. Black voters came through for Harris, white men did not. That is what appears happened. This is the second opportunity that white women in this country have had to change the way that they interact with patriarchy.
You know, it's a state that I think Democrats definitely were reaching for. There was a lot of work to try to turn out the college campuses, which were really thick and really packed, and try to turn out the suburbs. And I think there was a lot of hope because of just the insanity, can we say fairly, of the person who's running for governor in that state, and a thought that, you know, defeating him would also carry Harris in. But in the end, you know, if they didn't make their numbers and essentially exceed the numbers that Joe Biden had in the suburbs, and I think we have to be blunt about why. Black voters came through for Kamala Harris. White women voters did not. That is what it appears happened in that state, is that if you can't flip enough white women, and we've talked about this on this set numerous times, is that you have a state where you've got a 6-week abortion or a 12-week abortion. I think theirs might be 12 weeks. Yep. But it's a state where women lost their reproductive rights, where there was a very heavy push to get women to focus on not putting in place, re-electing, putting back into the White House the person who was responsible for taking those rights away and restoring them. But that message obviously was not enough to get enough white women to vote for Vice President Harris, a fellow woman. This will be the second opportunity that white women in this country have to change the way that they interact with the patriarchy. And, you know, God bless Shannon Watts, who has tried to have that conversation. But if people aren't receptive to it, and if people vote more party line or more on race than on gender and on protecting their gender, there's really not much more that you can do but tell people what the risks are and leave it to them to do the right thing.
Yes. Do you know what I love most? When I see tweets like this, clearly tells me Kamala has been defeated. It's really depressing to see how many people voted for the felon rape for would lie constantly. Many Americans feel they are fellow Americans tonight. This guy has been flipping out on social media throughout this campaign, and I was waiting for a moment like this. On another clip, Senator John King looks visibly sad as he reports that Trump is winning Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan. These three states, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, would determine the fate of the Harris campaign, whether there is any chance she can come back. Trump's betting oath of winning the election have skyrocketed all the way to 97%, according to polling market. As the result finally settled in, get ready for a meltdown from the mainstream media. I really want to see who they are going to blame. I'm already seeing the meltdown. This guy from TYT has already declared Trump has won, that there is nothing they can do about that.
These three states, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, will determine the fate of the Harris campaign, whether there's any chance she can come back. As we wait to see those results, I just want to show you something, bring it up. Remember January 6th, Donald Trump was finished. Even Republicans are running away from Donald Trump. Donald Trump is done as a national politician. I want to show you something. This is Trump overperforming his 2020 performance by 3% or more. Right? This is a statewide look. We're not done with some of these counts out here, so this will change a little bit. But Donald Trump overperforming 2020 after January 6, 2021. That's the statewide look. Look at this. Just look at this when you go to full counties. Look at how many counties across America, 994 of the 4,000 plus, 4,600 plus counties and townships, especially up this way, part of the country, they don't call them counties, they call them townships. But in nearly 1,000, 993 right now. This will change as we go through, but Donald Trump is overperforming. And look at where they are. He's mostly performing in red areas. His vote is getting higher in the areas where he wins elections. Yes, there are some blue places where he's overperforming, but just look at battleground Pennsylvania. Look at all these red counties, places that Trump wins, where he's overperforming by 3% or more what he did in 2020. Then you come out here, let's go up to battleground Michigan. These are the decisive states left on the board.
Again, with one of the larger Hispanic populations in Pennsylvania, here's Trump with just about, basically the vote here, winning it by 13. Look at that. 4 years ago, he won it by 8. This is exactly what the Trump campaign said it was going to do in a place like Burke County. It was going to take that and it was going to make it double digits. They've made it double digits in Burke County. We check in on Luzerne County. And again, we've been talking about this one as that same day vote.
Yes, I just realized that Democrats are regretting why they pick up Kamala. They could have maintained Biden. They will understand. But looking at this is a blowout. Trump is performing in Democrat locations like Michigan, a place they never thought that Trump could even do that. When I looked through Dearborn, Trump won there. Kamala came the last. That is to tell you something. The war in Gaza has crumbled these people. Kamala is not popular. When I looked through how the mainstream media was propping her up, the post, Kamala is now crushing Trump, in fact, every single day, this is what we saw throughout. I was just like, it was just like 2016, from my observations. They made it clear, it's like this, Kamala is, every single day Kamala is defeating Trump. Look at now, these same people are not even believing their own polls because a lot of this is happening. Trump has just been declared winning Georgia. And if he wins Pennsylvania, that is all. Maybe just close your TV and relax for celebration. A lot of people are already celebrating.
Can I just add one other thing about what this Georgia projection means? What it means is that she's got to win Pennsylvania. If she doesn't win Pennsylvania, it's over.
So what is today on Tuesday? What?